Welcome to Viben Now, a collection of guided meditations put into podcast form for your easy listening. My name is Vivian Gerard, and I will be walking with you through the intoxicating now moments of life here on this planet. These audios are intended to be used as a full meditation if you want to close your eyes, settle down into a comfy spot, and let your subconscious come all the way forward. Or it can simply be some background conversation where the nuggets of information that you most need will make their way into your awareness. Whichever way it works for you, I invite you to open up and enjoy fully this journey of life that we are all taking together. So much love to you.
Good morning and welcome to Soul Shine. It is a gorgeous Sunday morning here in Cincinnati. Sun is bright and sky is blue, and it's just good to be with you. Sorry, that was very bad. All right, let's go ahead and start. Go ahead and notice where you are sitting, how your body is feeling this morning. Yep, and pay attention to your breathing. We always start with the breath, so notice if your breathing is fast or if it's slow, if you even feel like you're here in this moment or you're still racing to arrive. And let's start by doing some long, slow inhales, and then we'll do exhales out through the mouth. And as you exhale out, you want to imagine yourself just dropping down into your body, almost like a pulley. You know, if you're pulling the rope, you can see what's happening on the other side. Or an elevator, you know, how it's bringing you down into your body. So go ahead and breathe in and out. Good, we'll do a couple more. Go ahead and breathe in and out. And one more. Breathe in and out. Good. Good. I'm glad you're here. All right. Let's go ahead and bring all of our attention back into our body here in this moment. So what that can look like is if you imagine you have a magnet in the center of your chest. See what it's at right now. So imagine you can just look at it. It's a dial. It goes from 0 to 10. And 0 is, I'm not in my body. What body? I'm not even sure what the body is. Right? 10 is, I feel so solid, so dense, so present. Right? So feel the range of that. Notice where you are right here in this moment. You can ask for a number, right? And some may immediately see a number, or you'll sense how full you are, like a gas tank. Right, and imagine that you can just turn the dial up. So if you're at a 2, go to a 4. If you're at a 4, go to a 6. If you're at a 6, go to a 7. Right, imagine you can just start to bump the dial up a little bit. And what that does is it sends a signal, right? It sends an energy vibration out that says, all of my energy, so I'll use me, right? All of Viv's energy is being magnetized back into Viv's body because she's noticing that her attention isn't fully here. So when I did this morning earlier, immediately I noticed a few people that I was really concerned about, right? And so I could feel that my attention was on them, so I pulled that back into me, trusting that they are completely supported in their own lives. They don't need my attention on them all the time. Right? I noticed part of my attention was out in front of me with what's going to be happening later in my day and all the projects and things that need to be accomplished. Right? So I pull my attention back into me. Yeah, another part, I noticed my attention was on my daughter. Her birthday is tomorrow. And I woke up this morning and I was like, 17 years ago, I was in labor at the hospital, so it was like I was in the past and also going into the future of tomorrow of what I was going to say when I talked to her and, how I would honor her birthday. I'm not here when I'm in the past or in the future, right? So I pull my attention back and enjoy this moment which I am currently in, right? And I feel how good this moment is. I'm sitting in a comfortable chair. My body is warm and happy and relaxed. My belly is full. I have clean air that I can breathe in. I have this amazing group of people who want to also pause and meditate, and we can vibrationally connect, right? What a gift. What a beautiful moment this is. And I don't want to miss this by being out in front or in the past. I want to be right here. So imagine you can turn your dial up a little higher. Maybe you can take it all the way to an 8, right? 8 out of 10. Your attention fully being called back into you, into this moment. You can use your breath if it feels like, for me it feels tight. When all of my energy comes back into my physical body, it's like when you put on a pair of jeans that don't fit anymore, right? And your body's trying to squish into this container of the jeans. It feels like that for me with energy. When energy comes back into my body and it's all coming back in, it's a little like, I can't quite catch my breath fully, or it's a little uncomfortable. I want to wiggle maybe with my body. So if you notice that happening, move, right? Move your body a little bit. Send energy down to your feet. Imagine you can just put magnets at the bottoms of your feet, and it just starts to pull some of that down through your legs. Yeah, that helps immediately, right? You can also expand your lungs. Like take in a big breath and exhale it out, and notice how breath gives space inside your body. Right, and it settles any of the parts that are going, whoa, I'm not used to having my attention fully in this moment. I'm usually in my head somewhere else. Yep, so just stabilize your body for a moment. And then if you want to, you can sit at 8, and that's perfect. If you're still making your way to 8, that's perfect. And if you want to go further, you can imagine turning the dial up and maybe going to 9. Right? I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Lucy. There's some scary parts in it that are super violent, but there's also this way that they explain how the brain isn't being used at full capacity. And so if you allowed the brain to have 100% of its actual ability, perhaps we would cease to exist, right? We would just sort of dissolve because the brain is so powerful. And sometimes I think people have that fear about being here in this moment. It's like if I come all the way into my body and I'm fully present here, then is there even a version of me that exists in the past? Can I even be something that's created in the future? Being here in the now is sometimes terrifying. Right? So notice if your body has any of that happening. Add breath, add space, right? You're actually in your fullest potential. You are in the most alignment with your soul, with your heart, with your body that you will ever have when you're here in this very moment, this now that we are creating together. Yeah, so slow the breathing down again. Look at your dial. If it feels a little intense, go back to an 8, go back to a 7, go back to a 5, right? There's no judgment. We're just paying attention to where we sit, how we feel in our bodies. And then, I want to say messing with it, playing with it, right? Expanding, bringing it back down a little bit, going back up, going back down. what you might find is the more that you practice or bring your attention to turning the dial up, the more comfortable you become with being in your body in the moment. So if you do this once a year, right, then it's going to be really intense and a little like, whoa, I don't even know what that was, but I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. I don't want more of that. If you do it once a month, it's maybe a little uncomfortable to feel yourself here in this moment, but you can handle it, right? It's not that crazy. If you do it every week, it starts to become so familiar, right? And then you crave it. You hop on a call like this, or you listen to a guided meditation, or you play music that just, you feel the music as you're listening to it. It's like your presence is something that is amazing, right? And you start to want that more. And if you do it every day, like I do, if you drop in and you feel how beautiful each moment is, you start to live that way, right? And it's just fun. It's just a fun way to live. It is a fun way to live. So there's no judgment anywhere along that path. It's just understand your body's reaction and just know it's sometimes happening just because it's unfamiliar. The more familiar you become with anything, the easier it gets, right? It's like exercise. The more you exercise, the more your body can handle it, and the more you're like, yeah, that's not even a thing. It doesn't even bother me. So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be in your body. It's fun to be present. So my encouragement to you is play with this dial thing, even if it's just while you're driving to work or your kids are yelling at you as you take them to school. Just play with turning the dial up. Can I be here in my body in this moment and just get comfortable with all of me here? And you'll find it becomes joyous, joy-filled. Okay, I didn't think we were going to go into all that. All right, so let's go ahead and leave the dial at a number that feels comfortable to you. No judgment if it's a 1 or a 0 right now. It's all good, right? Just leave it at a setting that feels comfortable. And then bring your attention down. So we're going down to your feet. Yep, so imagine you can just slide your awareness all the way down to the feet. And maybe your feet feel pampered and good right now. Maybe they feel tired and neglected or sore. Imagine you can just soothe your feet because they are the connection to earth, to being here, grounded, walking around your house, your office, your school, your community, your neighborhood, right? Your feet are your connection. So bring your awareness all the way down to your feet. And then imagine wherever your feet are in this moment, you can start to connect them in a visible way, meaning you visualize it, right? Create an image of how your feet want to connect to the earth in this moment. For me, the easiest way always is roots, imagining that the bottoms of my feet open up and roots start to come out. Roots feel the most natural to me. I can visualize roots of a tree, roots of a plant, roots of a flower. For you, maybe it's light. Maybe you want to visualize light as beams that go from your feet through all the layers of whatever is underneath you until it connects with dirt of the earth. Yeah, maybe it's a sound that pulses from the bottoms of your feet. It's a vibration that goes down. Yeah, or it's all of them, right? What if it's all of them? So feel the connection as your feet and earth hook together. It's like two things that are meant to plug into each other. Plug in. Yeah, that's the word I want. It's like a plugging in, right? So as you set the intention down, earth comes to meet you at that connection spot, and then there's a hooking in, like an avatar, just a connection, a vibration that matches you up. And then it's up to you, right? It's your choice. So you can decide, I choose to have those roots go down into the earth and start weaving and stretching and growing all the way down, maybe 100 feet into the earth. Maybe you want to go 1,000 feet. And why? Why would you want to do that? Because the earth is waiting to support you. When humans choose to, when souls choose to be humans and humans are on this planet, there's a partnership that happens between the container of Earth, the globe, the planet of Earth, and everything that is within that container. So just like water and food and flowers and trees and volcanoes and everything is in the container of Earth, we are also as humans. And so we co-create with the planet. And when you choose to connect, to hook in through your feet, there's a steadiness, a pulse, a heartbeat that the earth holds that you can align your energy with. Yeah, so I want you to feel in your body, if you were to drop any resistance, and again, it's a choice, right? If you were to drop any resistance and tune into the steady pulse that is the earth, what if your feet could be the way that you feel that heartbeat? So, for me, what I noticed this morning in my meditation is I was feeling wobbly. There was a bouncing feeling in my body, and when I sat down to meditate, it was a struggle. I felt like I was forcing the roots into the earth and forcing this like grounding deeper and deeper and deeper, and it didn't feel as easy as it usually does. And so I was asking, why is it such a struggle today? I don't understand. Normally I hook in very easily. And what I felt was planetary, universal shifts are always happening that we don't know or see. Asteroids bump into each other out in the universe, or new stars are created by hydrogen exploding. Things happen in the universe that we here in this cocoon, this container of Earth, have no idea about. But all of that has vibration. It has momentum, energy, a pulse that bumps up against our container of this planet, of Earth. And sometimes we have visionaries or guides or sages or what we sometimes call crazy people, right, who will say, there's a lot of light entering the earth this week, or hold on everybody, it's going to get bumpy. And we average people here are like, what? I don't understand. But our vibrational bodies, our human bodies, somehow sense that things have shifted. And if we never pay attention to that, if we never realign with that, I think it gets wobblier and wobblier. Your body never recalibrates, right? It's like a printer. You have to recalibrate the printer cartridge when you put a new one into the printer, or else it doesn't know which reds, blues, greens, yellows go where. It's the same with our physical bodies. And so I was noticing that this morning. I felt wobbly. I couldn't realign. The deeper my roots went into the earth, the calmer my body got. The steadier my system started to feel. Because I was hooking in. I was connecting into the container in which we live, the center of it, the heartbeat of it, which never changes. Right? The steadiness of our planet keeps it in the orbit, the rotation that it's going on. We humans don't have to focus and meditate and pray that the Earth is going to continue its orbit in the way that it is. It just does, right? It's so much stronger and steadier than individual humans. And so in this moment, if you choose, imagine you can drop your root, your light, your pulse, whatever it is that you're using, you can drop the connection, maybe go a mile down today. And you don't have to see it happening even. You can just say, I connect in 1 mile down vibrationally. I'm going 1 mile into this earth. Use your breath. And then you can go a mile out underneath the earth's surface. And if you choose, you can go maybe another mile, go 2 miles down into the earth. Yeah, and just set the intention. I match the pulse of this planet that I live on. I match the heartbeat, the rhythm of Earth. And then notice if your body feels calmer, if you're more steady. That was the word I immediately felt. It's like, steadiness. I'm not wobbly anymore. I can just match the rhythm that is always there, the pulse that I never remember to check in with unless I ground, unless I root in. Good. And then imagine if you want any blocks or resistance in your body that is saying, I don't know if I need to do that. I don't know if that's necessary. I'm actually doing great, right? Anything that is mind chatter, if you want, you can just visualize that flowing down through your body all the way to your feet and then just going through the root system, 2 miles down, and then just releasing into the earth. Right, our planet knows how to stabilize. You handing over a little bit of your worry is not going to throw the planet out of orbit. Oh, ego. Ego's so cute, thinking that we could do that. Yeah, you can't. So you can hand over as much as you would like to, and the Earth is still going to rotate around the sun at the same pace that it always has. Or you could just hold on to what you're feeling, and that's fine too. But I have found, for me, it's so much easier to just hand it over. Because guaranteed, more will come in today, tomorrow, this week that will keep your mind busy. So if you tune in every day, every week, once a month, and just partner with the earth and send energy down and release it, then there's always space for more to come in. Whatever you choose, more of that to come in and just flow through and down into the earth. Good. Good. So you can just keep those roots open as much as you would like, and as we continue talking, it'll just be energy moving down and out, down and out. Good. So let's bring our attention back up into our body. And if you choose, I want you to imagine that the bottoms of your feet can now also reverse directions. You can have energy flowing both ways, toxic or junky, heavy energy that goes out into the earth. And then you can imagine that the roots also pull nutrients up, just like they do for trees and flowers. All right, so you can visualize energy that is purified, that the earth has run through a recycling center, can now come back up into your feet. And if it's helpful, visualize it as a color or a sparkly texture, a light. You can give it a different shade, a different color, so that you can separate it from the heaviness going down versus the clear energy coming in. So for me, I usually visualize energy going down and out as sort of a gray-black color, shadowy, shifty, like foggy, going down and out. And then when I feel energy coming in, it's usually brown or gold, like rich, warm colors, and a little sparkly. It's vibrant compared to shadowy and heavy. So it's clear for me to distinguish between the two. So you can visualize that purified energy hits the bottoms of your feet, and then you choose how much you want to allow to come up into your body. And then you can just feel it. It can move fast or slow. And it runs up through your legs. Today we're going to bring it in through the root chakra, right at your hips, filling up the chakra. It doesn't even need to know what's in there or what's heavy or whatever, right? Just imagine that earth energy comes in and just rinses it clean, keeping the parts you want, letting go of the parts you don't. Up into the second chakra, same thing, just rinsing through, purifying the second chakra, receiving relationship pleasure. Up into the third chakra, the I am center of this life that you're living, rinsing through it. Any shadowy parts get dislodged and go down and out. And then it fills up the whole sparkly third chakra. And that earth energy does one more sweep up into your heart, and then it spills out through the heart. So as it's clearing and rinsing, it just purifies the heart space, dislodges any shadows that you're ready to get rid of in this moment. You don't even need to know what they are. And then just washes out the heart space, coming out into the earth, into the air on this earth, with a pulse that matches the pulse of the earth, a heartbeat that matches the heartbeat of the earth. Yeah, it's steady and expansive, right? That energy knows what life is about, what it's here to do. It can just flow out the heart. And you can send it as far as you'd like, so it can just stay in your energy field. It can radiate out through your home, your business, your community. You can just send it out to the world if that feels good, right? Because it's coming from the earth and it's just flowing through you, there's this abundance that you never need to worry about losing. It will always just flow. Okay, and then let's turn our attention to above, and I use above just as a word to give a visual. So if you imagine the earth is underneath and just flowing this love and support up and through you, you can imagine from above, behind, around you, Source, God, Creator, Universal, Love, Oneness, whatever name you choose to use, can flow down through the top of your crown chakra, so right above your head. And you can set the intention, the only energies you allow into your human field, your body-soul connection here, are energies that support you and nourish you and help you expand. So you can imagine a filter at the top of your head that brings in love, light, growth, source energy coming down through your crown, and then rinsing through the forehead, the third eye, down through your physical eyes, your nose, clearing out any gunk, any shadowy, heavy spots that keep you from seeing you, seeing the world, seeing your role in the world. Source energy can just come in and go, right? Just clear that little messy filter out, and we're going to let you see fully. Yesterday I was playing when I woke up with this idea of being surprised and delighted. And I was laying on the couch for a little bit, just meditating, thinking, whatever it was, and half asleep, half awake. And my husband came out, and he laid down next to me on the couch, and I was just laying there going, oh, it'd be so fun to be surprised and delighted. And, I wonder what this day is going to bring. And I said to him, are you comfortable? Because I was taking quite a bit of the couch space. And he turns to me and he says, I'm with you, aren't I? Right? Like surprise and delight. Could there be a better morning greeting than that? So set the intention that you and Source, you dance in that way for the rest of this call, that you are surprised and delighted by what you are able to see through the eyes of Source. as we continue. Right, and then bring source energy all the way down through the throat. You might have to yawn or cough or burp or stretch. Right, this is the I am center that's being said to the world, shared to the world through the voice. So intense, right? Or so we believe. So imagine source can just rinse out that throat chakra, clear it out. Yeah, actually, what I would suggest is if you haven't yawned or burped, go ahead and force a yawn. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, open your mouth and stretch it as if you're wanting to yawn. And do that a couple times. What I find is there's often energy stuck in our throats, but we try to bypass it so we can get on to the next thing. And if you pause and you sort of force a yawn and you try to yawn a few times, what I find is I end up actually yawning. And the yawn is a huge release of energy. When I'm doing client sessions, I yawn constantly, and it's just energy moving for me, for them, for the work that's being done. So for a minute here, just imagine you can open your mouth and fake yawn a few times. I know yawns are contagious. I'll yawn out loud, and it might spark a yawn for you also. Sometimes my eyes water when I yawn. Again, it's just energy moving. Right? The third eye sees something and it's like, whoa, I don't know what that is. And so tears form, and so energy washes through the eyes as tears. So beautiful, right? That's not a bad thing. That's a beautiful thing. So let me yawn again and see if that helps you guys. And one more. Yeah. If it's starting something, go with it. Keep yawning for a little bit longer. That is some of the best energy clearing you can do, is just start yawning and move the stuck energy out. Good. Good job. Okay, that's a practice you can put into your day, by the way. People will think you're boring them or they're boring you. That's okay. Just move energy for them and tell them later you were just helping them out. All right, feel that source energy come all the way down through your throat and meet in the heart with earth energy. And there is a beautiful dance that happens when the two combine. When source and earth get to play through the heart of a human, through the connection of soul, human, heart, it is magic. It is magic. So feel your heart space as much as you're comfortable with, filling up with source energy and earth energy. If you imagine colors, let's say the earth energy is that warm golden brown sparkliness, and maybe source energy is light or white or purple. You can just visualize the two creating a pattern or blending like a tie-dye throughout your heart and filling up that heart space. And then such abundance coming from above, coming from below, that it can't not be shared through the heart space out into the world. Yeah, and it's very gentle. It's so gentle. It isn't a rah, right? Well, is that true? That's true for me. This is my truth. So your truth might look very different. For me, the way they combine and go out is soft and flowy and sweet and just like fun and playful, impish, right? For others, yeah, it definitely could be like a fierce, warrior fighter. Let's go tell the world, right? Let's go love the world. So whatever it is for you, trust that that's your version of earth and source combining and playing through your heart space. And then feel the expansive steadiness of that. So feel how your body is grounded. You have the roots hooking you into the earth. Yeah, your spine is straight. You can feel from above all of the source energy flowing through you. And then you can just feel the pulse, the heartbeat of your heart aligning with Earth, with Source, and then being shared in your way. Yeah, it's quite amazing. Just take a minute and actually integrate this into your body. Often when we feel something new in a meditation, we leave the meditation and we question it. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I actually felt anything. That was really nothing. I mean, it was kind of cool, but I already forgot it. So take a full minute here and feel what this is like for you. Steady feet, open crown, straight connection between the two, and a full heartbeat that is yours, flowing energy out into the world in your way with your perfect blending of the colors of the vibration of Earth, Source, and you. And maybe expand how far that's going, just a tiny bit more, so it goes a little further out. Yeah, if it's too intense, pull it back in, just stay where you are. It's perfect. This is already such a huge awareness, a shift for all of us. This now has never been created or felt in this way before, so don't feel like you have to push it too far. Just feel what it is, and let every cell in your body calibrate to your unique blend of Earth, Source, and Heart, yours. I know I'm making you stay here and you want to go on to the next thing, but this is so critical. Just take another minute and just feel you in this now that you're co-creating with me and everyone else who's live or will listen to this later. This is a heartbeat that you are setting. Yeah, it's like a claiming, right? A claiming in a new way of you, Earth, Source, and this moment. Good. Okay, go ahead and relax your body. Relax your body. If you forget, if you get busy again, or you don't remember, or you can't quite catch the heartbeat and you want that, you're craving that again, this recording is yours. This moment that you got created, it's captured as a vibration, as a pulse that you can come back to as often as you need to. You can listen to that and it will put you right back into that heartbeat that is yours. Yeah, the amazing technology of this moment, right? You get to listen to it over and over. Okay. All right, feel your grounding. All right, so what I was going to talk about today that I didn't realize was going to be coming this late in the call. So here's what I woke up with this morning. The way that the Soulshine call works for me each time is I'll wake up on Sunday morning and there's a mantra, a statement, something, a flash of something that is the first thought when I wake up. And it always surprises me because it's not quite what I'm expecting, and it doesn't stop until I sit with it in meditation and feel it and allow whatever message is around that to settle into my body. It won't go away. And so this morning's flash or words were, be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. And I judged it as soon as I heard it. I'm like, whatever. We all know that. Like everybody says that. But I was laying in bed next to my husband, and he has allergies, so he was making noise while he was sleeping. And I immediately was like, he woke me up. Even though I had this be the change you want to see, I turned right to judgment. Oh, man, he won't let me sleep. I wish he would be quiet. And I've researched snoring before for many other people besides myself. And what I have found, according to Abraham, is, well, then it's your problem. He's in the vortex. You're the one that's not in the vortex. So you need to get yourself relaxed enough that you sleep through any noise that happens around you. And that doesn't feel good, right? But I was laying here this morning listening to him snore, thinking how peaceful he was, how happy he must be. He was resting great, and I was the one that was laying there uncomfortable. So I decided, be the change you want to be must mean tell him to roll over so then he won't snore anymore. So I did. I said, roll over. And the room got quiet again. And it felt so simple. It felt so simple to me, right? If I want something, ask for it. Claim it. Like, be the change. Create it for myself. Don't lay there and suffer. Ask for what I need. Yeah, so I fell back asleep because that was early in the morning. And I was dreaming. And in my dream, I was on the Soulshine call, but it was at a different location. And there was all this stuff happening. The room was busy. There were people there, where normally my room is very quiet and calm when I do my calls. There was so much activity going on around me, and someone was playing really loud music, and I couldn't hear my thoughts. I couldn't get it settled. And so I was feeling all of this anxiety in my dream, and I woke up and I was laying there. I was like, okay, so be the change you want to see. What would that mean? Right? And to me it means I create an environment that is not that. Right? I create an environment that allows me to tune deeply in and hold a beautiful space. And so that is the shift that I get to create. Right? And so I bring that to you as something for us to explore today. I read Gene Keys, the Gene Keys book by Richard Rudd, and the 38th Gene Key is the one that I was on today. And it was talking about, this week, and it was talking about the struggle of humanity. And it said that the struggle comes from humans not being able to connect to their life purpose. You know, they don't know why they're here. They can't connect into that. And so this struggle keeps them feeling separate. And when they can step out of the struggle and step into the gift of this gene key, they connect so deeply with their purpose that the gift is perseverance. Nothing can stop them. They're on this path and they're moving forward, and nothing can deter them from being in that space of aligning with their purpose. And when it talked about people being in the struggle, it said to step out of that shadow, to step out of that struggle, you connect and you pause and you take a breath. Right? You take a breath, because when you're struggling, you're holding your breath. You're forgetting that you can create a change, that you can shift things you're struggling against. So when you pause and you take a breath and you settle your body, you connect with your body. When you allow yourself space, you can step into transformation. You can take a pattern that has you caught and completely interrupt it. And that pause lets you see it in a new way, lets you feel it in a different way. And from there, you can align with your purpose. You can, in the pause, to me this means meditation, right? When I meditate, I take a breath, I pause, I go in. And the more that I'm able to create space for a pause, the more I can tune into what my purpose is, what my gifts are. And then I'm fueled by that. When you know why you're here, when you feel that surge of energy that says, I have this wisdom to share with somebody, this specific person, and they need to hear this, and when they hear this, they will expand and feel a shift. When those ripples begin, there's no stopping that, right? My friend sent me that song this week. Ain't no stopping us now. No, right? It is a momentum. It is a life force that expands and multiplies and multiplies. And then perseverance is just what you do, right? Once you find the thing that you're here in life to contribute, that is your highest calling, you can't be deterred from that. And so you play and you do your thing and you look like a crazy person and people judge and you just don't give a shit anymore. Like, whatever. Because you're so fueled with this heartbeat, with this love that expands and multiplies. So there is a book that I read when I was in my early 20s. One of my favorite authors, Richard Bach, a good friend of mine, shared Jonathan Livingston Seagull with me when we were young, and I read the other books by Richard Bach, and one is this idea, and this is what we're going to do in our exercise here together. One is this idea that you, if you want a visual, you're a pilot in an airplane, and you're flying above the earth, but enough that you can see rivers and mountains and roads and pathways. You know, when you're flying, you have that ability to see from a different perspective. And so what he describes in the book one, as I clear my throat, what he describes in the book is this belief that we can fly that way in our lives from a higher perspective, where we can see the pathways, the choices, the options in our lives from above. So go ahead and just imagine, we're going to do this together. Go ahead and imagine that you are in a plane, and the plane has the qualities of source. Yeah, so imagine source gives you this plane and says, okay, you can fly above your life just for now, just for the next few minutes. I'm going to give you this ability. I'm going to surprise and delight you with the ability to see your life in a way that perhaps you have not seen it before. And so you're right above the earth, and there is a clear color of rivers and patterns, a matrix, a web that you can see on the earth underneath you that is clearly you, your color, whatever combination that is. Yeah, and you might be feeling some energy moving through your body, so just keep yourself connected to the earth, connected to source, right? You're just visualizing this. Use your breath. Yeah, so if you're in the airplane that source provided and you're looking down onto the earth and you see the colors that make up your life, go either higher or lower depending on your perspective, so that you can see this moment. For me, myself, I can't really see ahead. I think it's because of the now moment that's always being created. I don't see ahead very easily. Sometimes I get little flashes of it, but not very often. Mostly I see behind me, to the side of me, you know, this moment and maybe the next moment that's being created in the next few weeks or months. I can't see years down the road. So it's a game of trust, of faith, right? You may be different. You may be able to see all the options ahead. I don't know. So let yourself be surprised and delighted by what Source is wanting to show you here in this moment. Feel the possibilities, the options that you were gifted with, that you agreed to as a soul coming down to have this human walk. Source didn't say to you, you go down there and you walk that one path and you don't stop till you die, and then you come back up, right? And you'll get a high five from me if you make it to the end of the path. No, you were gifted with the ability to choose, always, in every moment, what your next choice is. Yeah, so if you're looking at this moment from above, what is there for you to know? And this may be your human mind talking to you, or it may be Source whispering in your ear. You may have angels or guides or energies that support you in your meditation time, and maybe they're right there next to you in your imaginary plane. And maybe they're pointing things out to you. I have a few friends who have passed away, and I feel them as such a presence in my meditation time, and often I'll just sense that they're trying to show me something, and it's like turning on a different ear at the mirror, the third eye that we cleared, the veil that we moved. Perhaps in this moment you can be surprised and delighted by who shows up around you and what they might have to say. Yeah. Maybe they're pointing something out to you. It's so funny because we often go to, they're trying to warn me or show me the bad things. No. What if they're trying to show you the possibilities, the potential, the highest potential of who you came here to be? Perhaps it could surprise and delight you in this moment. But you didn't even know that that was an option, your soul. That's not quite right. You had forgotten. People had denied it for you for so many times that you started to believe that those were no longer options for you. Well, when it's you and Source in an airplane flying over your life, other people's voices don't matter anymore. Your voice matters, your knowing. Perhaps those who have passed that are guiding you, maybe their voices matter to you because they feel more clear than humans who are still struggling, who haven't figured out their life purpose, so they certainly don't want you to know yours, because then you might leave them. You might forget about them. You might not love them anymore, which is crazy. You'll love them more. You'll love them more when you're walking your purpose. Yeah, what else would Source want you to see from this perspective that you might not have before? You might have to take a little detour, Sometimes in the book one, when he visualizes this, he and his partner, his wife, are in the airplane and they're flying and they see all the different silver lines. That's the color they used, were these silver ribbons. And so they would fly all the way down and they would land the plane energetically, visually, and then they would get out and they would see what that life was about and look at it, and that option, what would it have been? And they'd get back in the airplane, they'd fly back up, backtrack, go down a different path. You might want to do that, or you might choose to come back to this a few more times and explore different paths. Or Source may have a big red stoplight somewhere that you've sort of known, maybe, that you were supposed to pause and take a different road. But maybe you haven't seen it as clearly until now. And so what would Source have you know about that? There's no judgment there, right? It's just love. It's just love that says, oh, honey, maybe you got stuck a little bit, right? Or you started to believe what those people told you. You know they're dumb. They don't know what they're talking about. Connect back in with you and Source. What is truth here in this now that we are co-creating that has not existed before? What is your truth? Feel your body steady as you remember the heartbeat that is yours with Earth, with Source. That heartbeat stays whether you're imagining you're in an airplane flying over your life or whether you're sitting in the chair in this moment in the physical reality. It's all the same heartbeat. If your path offers you the option to see in the future, maybe you want to explore that with Source, right? Trust what your body is guiding you towards. If seeing something in the future is going to help you hold on or anchor that differently so that you can flow in alignment with your choice more easily or be guided into action more easily, ask Source to show you something. And know that is a choice that you can move towards, that you can create your life towards. But you're the one doing that. You're creating that. Yeah, see if there's something that shows itself to you. And maybe it's just a feeling in your body that you've never felt before of trust, of alignment in a way that you didn't know alignment could mean. I've read and heard on interviews many times different people saying if you can see it, it is a potential path for you. You wouldn't even be able to see that thing or know that if it wasn't a possibility that you could create for yourself, because it wouldn't enter your awareness. You wouldn't even know to think that. Right? I have a friend who's so on fire to write a book, and she keeps questioning, am I supposed to write a book? I'm like, well, of course, because you talk about it and you think about it. If you didn't, you wouldn't be on that path to write a book. Right? So sometimes we need that future image or knowing to let us go, oh, I know, I've always known that was meant to be part of my path. I've always known that, and people told me no. And right now, right in this moment, that I feel in every cell in my body, Source is showing me, yes, this for you. Settle your body. Steady your vibration. And allow whatever that feeling, visual, word, knowing, whatever it is, allow it to just settle into your physical, energetic, spiritual body. Yeah. And you can ask, right, is there an action step I should know about? I'll tell you, it's always meditation, but that's just my 2 cents. That's the answer I always get. And I'm like, damn it, again, really? Isn't there a shortcut? Isn't there some other way to get there? Right? Quiet is usually what I always hear. You have to still to get the next step. And until you're still, I won't show you the next step. Sometimes we get these flashes like now, right, of awareness to hold us on course for our highest potential. But the day-to-day actions are, in my opinion, in my experience, only revealed when you complete the first action step you were given. You get that action step, and then, you'll be shown the next one, and you trust, and you do that, and you're shown the next one, and suddenly you have this life you've created that knocks your socks off, that is filled with joy that just continues to expand. That's what I found. I'd love to hear that you find that also. So it's about trust. Okay, go ahead and bring your attention back. You can leave the airplane flying and allow it to just show up in your meditation space or in your sleep dream space. You can land the airplane if that feels better to you and park it in a place where you know you have access to it whenever you want. You can get the book one and read about their journey and how they play with this visual. It might inspire more visuals for you. But bring yourself back to this moment, here and now. Here and now. So feel all of your attention, that dial in your body. Bring it all the way in. Ground your feet. Feel the roots. You can leave your crown open, or you can turn the dial down on the crown so that it doesn't feel like this stream is going to keep flowing if you need to go somewhere right after the call. Or stay here and play. I'll leave the phone lines open but muted for a while if you just want to hang in this space and see what it's like, what else there is for you. All right, pay attention to your breathing again, in your body, in this moment. Come on back. That was pretty awesome. Come on back. Yeah. Thank you for co-creating a now that I didn't even know was possible to be this beautiful. My heart adores you, souls. Sending you so much love. Have a beautiful day.